All right, there we go.
Yep, I got the notification.
Okay,
we're good.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Y'all ready for this train wreck? This is another Yeti stream, so who knows? Hang on. We're doing no fucks vaping Tommyless. So
good thing.
Of course.
Topless. What?
Well, hey, we can do it topless. I mean,
that's not right.
Are you sure? I don't have a problem with it. And of course, tonight we've got the mighty Hesh as our grill E. So Hesh, you want to tell everybody a little bit about you, where you come from, what you do, and who the hell you are?
I am Hesh. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, originally from Athenry County, Galway, Ireland. I have a channel on YouTube. I am active in the comp community, comp side of vaping. I am a whore to e-liquid companies, left, right, and center. I pimp out as many of my friends as possible. I've got a YouTube channel. If you haven't seen my rant, go check it out because it is the God's honest truth. And yeah, me. You know, if you haven't caught me before on, any of the shows that I'm on, you'll get to know me real well tonight.
Sounds good. Well, yep. I want to thank you. I appreciate you, Hesh.
Yeah, of course, man. Glad to be on. Definitely glad to be on. Always amongst this company is good times.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to have some fun. Okay, Nikki, it's your turn. If anybody don't know, this is the incomparable Nikki B.
Incomparable. So how long have you been vaping?
Tonight or?
No.
Smart ass.
How did you get started?
I got started. So ultimately I got started 3 years ago, dual using. I've been off of cigarettes for about 2 years and 9 months, coming up in about 3 days. So I will be officially 3 years, New Year's, roughly around January. Dual using, started off with, ego pens, shitty fucking cardo tanks, moved up to a pro tank 2, wasn't doing it for me. High Nick, fucking 24 milligram. It was killing me. It wasn't feeling right. Went back to smoking, flip-flopped here and there as much as possible, vaped. But I couldn't really get into it. And then around January, I'd gone into the brick and mortar that my buddies run, the e-cig barn. Fantastic people, by the way. And I'm like, dude, this shit's not working for me. I can't do this. It tastes like crap. I'm feeling sick. And so my buddy Ralph hands me his Mech Mod and a dripper and was just like, just try this. Took one fucking rip off of it. Felt satisfying, low nick level, felt great. Took my pack of cigarettes right out of my pocket, threw it in the trash, dumped $200 on batteries, chargers, clone Paragon, and a CLT V2, and a shit ton of e-liquid, and thus has started the journey of
the hobbyist.
Yeah, big time hobbyist. The amount of stuff that I've had over the last few years is daunting.
Yeah.
The rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your favorite setup?
That's a tough one.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, if you could only have one setup.
If I could only have one setup at the moment, if it was mech only, I swear by this as my daily banger. It's my copper broadside with the goon. If you asked me that about a year ago, it would have been the Tesla Invader 3. This has been a 2-year workhorse for me. I have beaten the crap out of this thing, and it still comes back for more, even if I have to take it apart and fix it. It's fantastic. But yeah, I would have to go with the Broadside Goon as my daily banger. Like, it has yet to let me down whatsoever for the past 6 months.
I agree. Oh yeah. What about liquid? What would you say? I know liquids it's kind of a fluid topic because it changes from like seasons. You'll have like some people like creams in the winter in the winter and fruits in the summer.
Seasonal.
Yeah. So like, let's just say like right now, what is your favorite or preferred liquid right now?
That's tough because I vape so many different liquids on a constant. The whole Voodoo Vapes line, I absolutely love. I can easily rip through 240 mils of that in a month. The whole Vape Girl Vixens line, again, these are companies that I stand behind. I either do work with them or I'm sponsored by them for comping and Instagram and all that stuff. The whole Vape Girl Vixens line, Colleen, my cousin, I love her to death. I will support her, and she makes a fantastic e-liquid. I can't go wrong with any of her flavors. And my new absolute found love has to be Adore. Every flavor from all of these companies is 100% in my wheelhouse. I am not one to pick a single flavor profile. I have to change it up. I change it up multiple times a day. And, I don't cross breed between companies, but I will cross mix on my cotton similar flavor profiles from same company. So you can see me going from Strawberry Submission, dripping right over to Lemon Ecstasy, dripping over to Pure Peach in a given 4-hour period without changing my cotton out or anything like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Vape Girl. I can bounce between Berry Obsessed and Showgirl for 2 weeks straight and rip through 240 mils of that easily. So, but I mean, any of those flavor profiles, I don't pick just one. I like them all. Adults like flavors.
Well, I'm curious, what type of flavor do you like lean to? I know, they vary, but do you have like a certain type of flavor that you like over others?
More of the fruits and creams with a little bit of bakery note is more of my favorite. Anything that's like one of my favorites that I don't have now because it's hard to find now is the $100 apple pie. I absolutely love that because the cinnamon note was bright. The apple was perfect. And sorry about the train coming by, but you're going to have to deal with it because I'm fucking talking. But you got a true bakery note out of it, and if it tastes like something that I would eat, it goes in the mouth hole all day. But more of the fruits and creams with a little subtle bakery to it is more of my favorite than anything else. But I do love myself a good dark custard, like very, very true custard note. I guess that would be the old Irish soul that resides in this young, sprightly body.
This young stud.
Yeah, exactly. But I also like really complex flavors, like Nut and Better from Vape Girl. It's peanut butter. What is it? Peanut butter, chocolate with a hint of banana. And that hint of banana really pops. So I get the fruit that I like, but then I also get the complexity of the peanut butter and chocolate. So
right. Yeah.
So if I have to put it in anything that's complex, I can't do just like a straight normal flavor. Like I just can't do it.
Right. Like a one flavor.
Oh yeah, a single shot flavor. I couldn't. It's just too bland. You know, I need that complexity. I have a very broad palate. Yeah. So
I have a really the opposite. A really retarded palate.
Yeah, considering that this is all you fucking vape.
Between that and peach.
or this.
Yeah. I'm a pretty simple vapor.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I don't know. What's the next question?
It's on you.
What's your favorite build?
Favorite go-to build? Stainless steel fused Claptons. All around great flavor, amazing vapor production. I can usually build it dead on for a comp if I need to with little to no ramp up time, just like using a paralleled like two different gauge parallel build round wire. I get the same vapor production, same heat, same flavor off of a stainless fused as I do on my comp build, which is usually 23 gauge, 25 gauge firewire on a 3.5 mil 7 wrap, and that's a dead on 0.08.
Wow.
So
I'm kind of curious. This is probably going to derail the whole thing because I don't know much about comping. I've never been into it, never got into it, and I know that a lot of compers use just basic round wire builds. Yep. Do they not? Okay,
yeah, most do.
What is it? Is it usually typically like a 0.10 build that they require you to use, or how does that work? I know they won't let you walk in with like a 0.05 and shit.
Oh yeah, no way. 90% of comps now have, because of the amperage ratings on the batteries, a 0.08 build limit. That's even for outlaw style comps as well, only because they don't want somebody venting their battery, somebody building stupid low and being a dickhead coming into a comp, first time comper. Oh, I got a 0.04 build. I'm going to blow the water out of, out of the fucking ocean with this. And they're really just going to vent their battery or have it go to thermal runaway. So the comp scene is very, very in tune with battery safety. They check to make sure, they ask you not to use rewraps. They want to see the authentic batteries. They will actually check your batteries as well as check your build before you even think about signing up. So
that's good.
Yeah, they're responsible about it. Definitely responsible about it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I apologize because I really am ignorant to that, but that's really cool that they tend to regulate themselves on that because you would think. I mean, I've seen down here they've had a couple. I guess you'd call them cloud comps. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, really. But I mean, they just walk in and they just blow a couple clouds, and whoever has the biggest cloud is the winner. I mean, it's pretty lame down here. But that's good that they regulate like that, as opposed to something like that. Especially somebody that might not really know what they're doing,
right?
And then come in there and create a news headline, which is not what we want.
Which is not what we need at all.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, comps are judged on multiple things. It's technique, it's cloud density, and it's distance, as well as if you can build within the parameters and you can follow the rules, Yeah. And, it's more fun than anything else. It's getting together. And, it's not like some people think where it's a big old dick measuring contest. It's really, I mean, I've won multiple comps. I've also placed in top 3 multiple comps. I've also gone against guys that I have beaten the piss out of and choked and ended up in fucking like the low 10, So it really is it really is a little bit of skill as well as, confidence in yourself. You don't, you have to go in with the mindset of, I'm not going against somebody else. I'm trying to beat my last round that I was just in myself. You always want to go the next step further with cloud comping.
Miles had a question from milesofwire.com. He had a question about comps. He wanted to know, do they only use mechs for cloud comps?
No. No. There is typically a single 18650 mech division. There's a box mod division, and that could be regulated, unregulated. It doesn't matter as long as it's a box mod. You could use a noisy cricket in a box mod because it's in the shape of a box, but you couldn't use a series stacked tube in a. But then they also have outlaw division, which is if you're within the build parameters, you can use whatever fucking device you need for it. I've used my triple series boxes that I've built for comps. I've used stacked 26650 mechs for outlaw comps. So there's multiple different divisions in comping. And it's usually so you have the cloud comps with 3 different divisions, and then you have the trick comp. So you really have 4 different comps going on at one night.
Cool. Hell yeah. Sorry, Nikki, I didn't mean to interrupt like that.
Oh, no. No, I got people messaging me on Facebook. I guess the hats are popular.
Well, all right. While you're doing that, then. You got it?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, let's do this. What about your favorite topper? RDA, RTA, tank. What are your current favorite topper?
Current favorite, OG Goon, the Druga, and as always, my Kennedy 24 with the GMVP cap on it, only because it gives a little bit more cloud density and flavor because of the way that the cap is built. I dig it big time. Those are my 3 go-to RDAs. Tanks, I don't tank much. If I tank, it's usually Griffin 25 with some fused Claptons in it, or actually, this is one of my favorite little guys right here, the Nautilus V2. I don't mouth the lung often, but with work, I can't carry around if I'm with a vendor or I'm going to meetings or I'm in, I'm in and out of the office all day. It's easy to just take this with me, especially because I'm not sitting there blowing big ass douchey clouds in front of a vendor who doesn't understand vaping, and I can just hit this, mouth to lung it real quick, and stealth vape if I need to.
Right.
No issues whatsoever. So this would probably be my favorite tank, flavor wise.
Yeah. That's cool. Wait, I had another vaping question. Where'd it go? We did that. Okay. Now, I think most people might know the answer to this, but just to get it out there, do you prefer regulated or unregulated?
Come on. Direct fucking battery connection all day.
This was my question.
Yeah. No, I definitely prefer the way that a mech hits. I definitely prefer, I've been vaping on mechs for so long now that I know when my battery is getting to roughly about 3.8, 3.7 volts. And I actually never let it drop below 3.8, 3.7 volts before I swap out the battery. So, I can tell by the heat, the density of the vapor, that I need to swap out my batteries by now. With these regulated devices, I'll go, and next thing you know, the batteries are dead, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't bring any extra batteries with me that were charged. So I'll end up going like 2 hours, leaving my car running while I'm in and out of shops for work to charge up some fucking batteries.
Now, I have a question for you. If you could go back to yourself the day that you started smoking, what would you tell yourself?
I wouldn't tell myself anything. In all honesty, what I would do is probably break my own fingers, because the day that I started smoking, I actually stole cigarettes out of my sister's fucking bedroom. And, you know, I was brought up to be a lot better than that, you know, and that really started a decline in my life. And if I wasn't intrigued about smoking cigarettes because my sister was older and she was smoking and she didn't start smoking until she was 18, I probably would not have gone into, you know, recreational use of marijuana and drinking at a young age and all that stuff. You know, that really, cigarettes was actually my gateway into doing a lot of stupid shit. And, you know, my parents obviously, you know, could smell it off me when I was 13 years old. You know, they're like, yeah, you're fucking stealing cigarettes from somebody. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not smoking. It's the other kids in school, you know. And
I would have sat there and, you know, I want to talk to myself as, you know, the young person I was when I started smoking. But if I hadn't, then I would have never met any of you guys.
Right.
So
well, that's the
downfall. That's the downfall. It's like
that too. If
would you talk to yourself or would you actually not?
I wouldn't, because the life decisions that I made, I don't regret. I don't hold any ill will towards the choices that I made as a teenager, because it really did, you know, work out and form who I am as a person today, even though I did a lot of shitty things as a teenager, even into my, you know, beginning of the early 20s as well, which I'm sure we'll end up touching base on later on. But yeah, no, I you're right. I probably wouldn't, but I would be that person that if I saw a young kid smoking and it just so happened to be me, I would tell them the truth about, you know, what smoking does. Because back then, back in the early 90s, it was still, you know, the truth ads first started coming out, but they were few and far between. You know, they were more worried about the war on drugs in the early 90s than anything else, and they weren't really talking about the concerns of smoking, you know. And
it was more acceptable for
exactly. You know, it was easily accessible too. You could walk up to a fucking random gas station at the age of fucking 15 years old, say you were a senior in high school because you had a little bit of a fucking dirt lip growing, and they'd sell you a pack of cigarettes right there without any ID.
Yep.
So, I had it easy. I was able to buy butts any fucking place that I wanted to in my hometown in Quincy.
Yeah, I think I've told this story once or twice before. My little brother, he's my half brother, so he had a different mother. But she would when he was 8 years old, she would write a note and say, send home, you know, whatever cigarettes she wanted. And she would give him the money, and he would give the clerk at this little convenience store. Yep. Because it was a small town, everybody knew everybody, and he would hand them all that, and they would send him home with cigarettes. He's an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
well, my sister really fully started smoking when she was 18, but she was buying cigarettes and occasionally smoking when she was going to, you know, parties and stuff up in Boston with her friends as a young teenager. So she was 16, 17, and she was sending me into the store to, you know, at 8, 9 years old to buy her a pack of fucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
and say, hey, my mom's in the car with my baby brother, and there would be a fake car seat in the back, I need a pack of Marlboros. And
Yeah.
I would go in, they'd look out the window, she'd wave, no issue,
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the same gas station my mom went to, order the same cigarettes that my mom, and I'm like, oh, by the way, I knew the guy. He knew my mom and dad. They know that they chain smoked, and they would. That's where my lunch money went.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
It's okay. I got another question. What's the best best part of your life so far?
Life.
Just life.
In all honesty, life, just life in general. I'm blessed. I really am blessed. I had amazing parents that stuck with me through the thick and thin, big time. They were my biggest supporters, and they were eye openers to me. As shitty as I treated them sometimes, they always had my back. Got a great group of friends. Love my wife, love my kid. I wouldn't just life,
Yeah.
Really, that's the greatest part of my life is being alive. Not much to it,
Sorry.
That's all right. No worries, man.
Tell me something that you can do that most people can't do.
I can play 14 different instruments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
and they were all self-taught.
That's cool.
Yeah. All self-taught. I don't want to say they were all self-taught. I started piano lessons when I was 5 years old. Picked up my aunt's old nylon string acoustic guitar at 6, and took lessons when I was old enough to really understand music theory at about 8 years old. Took guitar lessons for maybe 3-4 months, just to get chord progressions and all that stuff. And then I was playing in a band by 10 as a guitarist. I picked up the bass when I was 11 and got my first drum kit at the age of 16. And in between that, I picked up multiple different brass instruments and dabbled in a few woods and other stringed instruments like the violin and stuff like that. Once you learn a stringed instrument, it kind of translates into others. You just got to learn the tuning and the mechanics of that instrument. So it's pretty simple. And Socrates did pull out a good
impressionist.
I'm an impressionist as well.
How many voices can you do?
Oh God. I'd say probably about solid voices. I could probably do about 15. Stuff that I've dabbled with in the past. Probably about 25 to 30 different voices. I started doing voices at a very young age. First off, I started with Kermit the Frog, and it progressed from the Muppets to Beavis and Butthead, of course. Okay. Because I was an impressionable teenager, and fire was cool, and
Mm-hmm.
And so I really started doing impressions in middle school with Beavis and Butthead full on, and then it's just been downhill from there. I'll pick up a voice without even thinking about it, and it will come out mid conversation, like somebody will do something, and it warrants a quote from a show, and I'll quote it in the voice without even like, what in the hell? Damn it, Bobby. I'll pull it out, and it just fits, and the voice is there. So then, because I've done that voice once, it's stuck in my head, So I go back and I try and perfect the voice.
Hell yeah. That's cool, man. What motivates you?
Life.
Just life in general?
Life in general.
Staying alive?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, my motivation really comes from, well, now it's my son, my wife and my son, my family. My friends motivate me. Seeing everybody that I know in a good place, really, like, everybody else's happiness comes before mine. And I really try to live that way. That's how my dad lived. It didn't matter. You could be mad at me and I will forgive you. You could say some really fucking personal, hateful shit to me. I might not really be a fan of you and I might not really want to interact with you, but I will respect you as a person and I will, be civil with you. I'm not one that holds grudges, but there's a few things that can, make me snap here and there. But yeah, life in general motivates me. Friends, family, music motivates me big time. Music fuels my soul. If I didn't have music, I wouldn't be.
Getty went
MIA.
It's funny because when he mutes his camera, it disappears off the screen.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I guess I can ask a question.
Giz wants to know if I can do Ren Hoek from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh,
Stimpy, you idiot! I used to be able to do it, but I haven't done that voice again for probably about 10, 15 years.
Okay. So, you have kids. Well, okay.
Hey, kid. Yeah.
Okay. This is, I guess, towards the future and stuff. What do you think what should they teach in high school but don't?
What do they teach in high school but don't?
What should they teach in high school but they don't? If you could sit there and tell a school system, this is what you need to teach, what would you tell them?
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, respect, because what it all boils down to is you can cram your brain with all the knowledge, math, science, languages, the arts, everything. But if you don't know how to portray yourself in a respectful manner and learn to respect humanity for itself, and what it is, we all only have a short amount of time on this earth. Yeah, we could live to 100 years old. That's a long time in our aspect, but in the grand scheme of things, that's a very short time considering the existence of life itself, so respect, honor,
respect covers a lot of big broad spread.
Right, exactly. There are programs like the JROTC and there's other things, groups outside of schools like the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and places like that you learn life skills, such as respect. But respect, there's back to my rant video. If I wanted drama, I would go back to 1999 when I was graduating high school, because that's drama. There's no respect between teenagers. There's no respect from teenagers to adults. Adults look at kids like, oh man, these kids are being dumb kids, but who's really to blame but the parents themselves for raising the kids the way that they're acting, for allowing their kids to act the way that they do. So it really boils down to, what I want them to teach is respect and how to be, life lessons, reality, not just sugarcoating everything and creating safe spaces for all the wussy kids whose feelings are going to get hurt because they couldn't buy their favorite fucking, bag of chips at lunch. No, just get over yourselves. Like, really, respect. I learned it the hard way. I learned it on the streets.
I have no idea what's going on. I apologize.
No worries.
Sorry.
Nikki's last question was what's something that they don't teach in high school that they should? And I said respect.
Yeah. No shit. Well, you can't teach common sense. You either have it or you don't.
Right, exactly. So, but you can teach respect.
True.
Just by showing respect,
chivalry.
You teach somebody respect.
I think I agree. Respect and chivalry. That's one thing that you don't see chivalry anymore. Nobody holds the door for women or anybody for that matter.
I do.
I do too. But I mean, you see people like with a handful of shit walking out of the store and door slap, hit them in the face.
Happened to me earlier today. There's two young ladies coming out of a store that I was walking into. They had carts full of shit and bags full of shit. I flung open one door, grabbed the other door, and I held both doors open for them at the same time to let them go by.
Yeah, that grinds my gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I want to talk a little bit about your smoking back when you were smoking.
Okay.
I know we touched a little bit. I'm sure you did, but did you have a favorite brand and what was it?
I started off on Marlboro Reds, just because that's what my sister was smoking and that's what everybody else was smoking in high school. My freshman year of high school, just because I went to a private school my freshman year. When I moved over to public school, I started dating a girl that smoked Newports. So I'd bounce between Newports and Marlboro Reds. And then I wanted a lighter cigarette, so I moved over to Parliaments. I did the whole gamut. Ultimately, it was about junior year. The Camel Jumbos came out. All the flavored tobacco cigarettes were a huge thing. There was one called Honey that had it looked like the old Wasp logo from the band on the front. It had the bee inside of a comb, and it was a honey roasted honey tobacco. And I absolutely loved those. So I would, once I was 18, I was going and buying like the Turkish Golds and all the different flavors from Camel. And I ended back on Marlboros just because that was the go-to, and my dad enabled me quite a bit. They would go down to Florida to visit my sister. They owned property down there. So they bought a house, and so they would snowbird back and forth, snowbird back and forth between Mass and Florida. And when they were driving down, my dad would stop in Virginia and pick up cartons of Marlboros at next to nothing. Then he would go over to Ireland and fly back duty free with cartons of Marlboros for next to nothing. And he supplied my smoking habit for about 5 solid years where I did not have to buy a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. That makes it easy to smoke then.
Yeah. I had no issues. I never ran out of butts. And if I was running out of butts, it's because they were either down in Florida or they were over in Ireland, and I had just run out and they were coming back in a week. And it was just like, oh crap. It's between pay weeks. Fuck. So I would ask a friend, hey, could you spot me a pack of cigarettes and I'll buy you a cup of coffee on payday, a couple of cups of coffee on payday. Oh yeah, not a problem. So I had enablers that would keep me going, but people knew, that if I didn't have a fucking cigarette at that point in my life, that I would snap, and people usually ended up bloody or dead. Yeah. See,
that's one of the things I think it's really cool, because I'm pretty sure, and I'm not going to cast a wide net on everybody. So I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure that most of us, when we did smoke, you had to have your cigarettes. You had to. If you didn't, you would turn into either a bitch or a raging asshole, whichever the sex you are.
See, the great thing was, because high school trained me so well, I would get to the McDonald's across the street from my high school. I'd rip back 3 butts before school. I wouldn't smoke during the school hours whatsoever. So I could go 6 to 8 hours, no issue, without having a cigarette. But as soon as I got home, got my homework done, and I was able to fuck off out of my house, it was like a half a pack gone in a matter of like 4 hours, with the friends driving around, you know, dad going, don't smoke in the van. Your mom sits in here too. And, you know, there's 13 of us piled into a goddamn Chrysler minivan, you know, stealing street signs in the middle of fucking, in the middle of the night, ripping butts, you know.
See, that's the thing, because I was the same way. You know, I had to have a cigarette. You know, I had to have it whenever it was I needed it. But see, now I go many times, like when I'm in their building, I'll go 4, 5, 6 hours and not even look at a vaporizer, not even look at it, let alone, you know, it's not even on my mind.
Saturdays,
you know, I'll hop in the car and not even take anything with me.
Yeah, Saturdays, you know, it's the only full day off that I have with the family. So Saturdays, I'll wake up in the morning, get breakfast for me and little man, let the wife sleep in because she works the second shift. She'll wake up, we'll go out, we'll grab lunch, we'll run errands, we'll do everything. We do dinner. As soon as little man goes to bed, friends come over. As soon as I crack that first beer is when I have my first vape on a Saturday. I'll go 12, 14 hours on a Saturday without having a vape. No problem.
Yeah.
You know, but when I'm working or if I'm on a live show, because I'm socializing with other vapors, you know, and when I'm working, I need it because, you know, my job is stressful. My job is very stressful.
Yeah.
So I do keep multiple devices and tons of liquid with me during the work week.
We got a question from Gizzard Stew in the audience.
Uh-huh.
Giz would like to know, and I think this is a very good question, actually. If you could talk to a historical figure, not a family member,
okay,
who would you choose to talk to and why? Thank you, Giz. That is a good question.
That is a damn good question. In all honesty, it would probably have to be any of the famous classical composers. In all honesty, you know, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, you know, any of those guys. Music drives me, and I was learning the classics on piano at a very young age, and I want to know ultimately what was going through their heads when they were composing these masterpiece symphonies that are ageless, absolutely ageless. Like, no matter what, you can say you don't like classical music, but when you walk into somewhere where there's a nice classical piece playing, it piques your interest. You know, it really does pique your interest. And all music, all modern day music has been derived from that classical. The time signatures, the scales, the keys, everything comes from that original theory. And I am a huge music theory nutcase, you know, absolutely. I want to learn the odd time signatures. I want to learn the crazy scales. I want to learn the theory, and I want to learn it from the masters who created that theory and what we base music on upon now.
Yeah.
You know, instead of this fucking auto-tune bullshit where everything's all synthesized. Fuck you. Write some real music.
Yeah, it's either that or it's samples. I fucking hate samples. God damn it.
No. If it's done well and with permission,
but it never is.
Right. Actually, I do have a track on my SoundCloud that is called Letters to Heaven. And it's a song that I wrote about my mom 5 years after she passed, and how I was doing and everything like that, and how much my life was affected by her passing. And it actually uses the sample of the guitar riff from Tears in Heaven by Clapton. And it's very well done. Very well done. And that was the only reason I heard the hip hop track first. And I was just like, I was floored by it. And I instantly picked up, as soon as I heard the beat kick in, I picked up my notepad and just fucking wrote the song and recorded it in a half hour of hearing the fucking song. And, you know, I dabble in a little bit of hip hop. I produce more of it than I do my own. But I like all genres of music with a certain respect, you know. A more metal, punk rock. Personally, it's what feeds the rage that is within and keeps me from wanting to pound people's skulls in because they have no common sense. But it also, you know, hardcore taught me brotherhood and unity. Punk rock taught me my nonconformist attitude, you know, and metal just, you know, anybody doing blast beats in your face that's that talented with their fucking feet, man. God.
Yeah.
It just makes you want to drive a car like 90 miles an hour into a fucking wall. Give me one quick second. I just realized that I have the screen door and deadbolt bolted. And if I do that, my wife will punch me in the taint. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I'm going to put the link to Hesh's latest video in the chat. If y'all haven't checked it out yet, go check this video out. I think he makes some pretty good points in it. Mm-hmm. I thought it's certainly worth the 8 minutes. It's less than 8 minutes to watch. So go check it out when you get time. Oh, how are you doing over there, Nikki?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm just playing around. I'm trying to get it positioned right. I'm like, okay, I didn't have a chance to look in the mirror, so I'm like projecting it from.
Sorry, I enjoy my taint not being punched. Okay.
Okay. Let's see, what else can we ask Mr. Hesh?
So Crates asked, what about polka music?
What about it?
Yeah, what about it? What about it?
Shit.
I respect the Germans. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, 10-hour flight, who would you want in the seat right next to you?
My wife.
If non-family member, anybody but family.
Okay. Seth MacFarlane.
That'd be fun.
Oh God.
Can you imagine the whole
no, yeah. We would just be reciting whole episodes of Family Guy together between the you know.
Imagine nobody will be able to pee on that plane because they're gonna be laughing too much.
Well, no, it would be
they're
full
gonna be
of
laughing. Yeah, nobody will be able to get to the, you know.
Yeah, no, it would definitely have to be Seth MacFarlane. Oh God, yeah. I want to get into his fucking brain so bad.
This is what we were talking about before the show, and I think this is a great time to do it. G made a request. He would like to know if you could expound on your Tyrannosaurus video.
Okay.
So here we go.
I don't want to name any names. I don't want to name any certain situations.
Then don't.
So I won't. But recent events caused me to come up with that video, that rant. And it's been ultimately 3 years. As long as I've been vaping, I've been seeing this, mainly in the inner circles that I've been in. It happens in every aspect. It happens in the fucking cloud comp aspect. It happens in the fucking brick and mortar shops. It happens in, in the social circles. It happens through YouTube. It happens on Instagram. Drama, just drama everywhere. People pulling personal digs on people when there's no fucking point to it. Ultimately, I'm just sick of it. I'm 100% sick of it. You know, I might not like a person, but I'm not going to dig into their personal business just to talk shit about them so I can grab the attention for myself because I need to be seen. You know, if you're doing it for the views, get the fuck over yourself. If you're doing it to down somebody, get the fuck over yourself. If you haven't had an instance in your life where you've requested help, get the fuck over yourself, because everybody asks everybody for help at one point in their life or not. You know what I mean? Vaping is not about us. It's about public health. It's about saving the advocacy, saving this device that saves lives. You know, why should we give more fuel to the naysayers than what's needed? We're already having struggles in the vaping community with flavor bans. We're already having, you know, people saying, oh my God, there was one case of fucking popcorn lung when there's never been a case of popcorn lung. You know, all the negative press. We already have a fucking war on our hands. Why are we causing even more battles within the community when we've got a bigger fucking picture to deal with? You know, people really just need to stop validating the fact that they're better than everybody else, because they're not. People like that are actually, as I said in the video, are the lowest part of the totem pole, and they're dragging the community down by dragging everybody else into the drama. And they really just need to get the fuck over themselves. That's it. It's not about you. It's about the community as a whole. And I'm just sick of it. I'm absolutely done with it. You know, I mean, I'm probably one of the easiest guys to get along with. If you got an issue with me, come talk to me. That's not a fucking issue. We'll hash it out. And if we can't find a common ground, then we go our separate ways, and we never bring any personal digs into social media. You know, if you don't like somebody, yeah, you can talk shit about them behind their back, whatever, to a closed group of friends. But when you put it on blast on Instagram, when you put it on blast on fucking YouTube, when you put it out on fucking Facebook, it's out there. And that's ultimately diminishing their character as well as diminishing yours, because you might not actually have any fucking ground to stand on. You know, you might have done similar shit in your life that you don't think, you know, people are going to find out about, but they will. Because if you're constantly talking shit, you've probably done the same shit. Mm-hmm. And I was done with it. You know, yeah. I 3 years in the making, and recent events caused me to want to blow up. And I took a few days to think about what I really wanted to say. You know, I really didn't want to blow it up on the spot. Kind of like what happened when, on Tommy's show. Nothing against Tommy personally. It wasn't me and Leafa leaving wasn't about leaving because we were pissed, but we were to the point where if we had said anything more, it could have turned into a situation of we said something that can never be taken back because of the heat of the moment. And I would rather walk away from an argument and a fight than to make myself have a big old shit stain on my face, especially with people that I love and care about.
But just to clarify, there's no beef, right? Between
never.
You guys.
No. Okay. There was never any beef, actually. You know,
I just wanted to put that out there.
Tommy messaged me and he goes, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean the show to go that direction." I'm like, dude, no worries. I'm just a bad topic for me to be on for my first time.
There's certain topics sometimes that actually irk people because there's so many different opinions about something,
right?
That not everybody is going to get along with something that somebody says, but to sometimes push things down each other's throats You don't do that. You don't do that in friendship. You don't do that in real life. It's just something that if you have an opinion about something, just voice your opinion and then let it be. You know what I'm saying? Let it settle. Let it, let the person think about what you said.
Right.
And maybe that.
Well, and there were points where I agreed with Lefa, and there were points where I agreed with Tommy. And it is what it is. And I agree with finding a common middle ground and working it out that way, as opposed to keeping it separate issues and allowing it to intermingle in the separate issues. Find that common ground. Let them do the exact same thing. Just call it fucking what it is and let them commingle. Whatever. It's fine. Not a big fucking deal. All of the life skills that you learn in each one are the same, but the guys end up doing more camping and crazy stuff, and the girls end up doing more homebody stuff. If the guys want to do the homebody stuff, by all fucking means, they don't have to go on the camping trips, and they can take the cooking merit badge. They can take all the social merit badges that they want. I had probably about 4 to 8 community involved merit badges myself, that weren't necessary for making my Eagle Scout, and it's just because I wanted to do more charity work than anything else. I was a humble kid. I might have been a screw up and a drug addict, but I was a humble kid, and I wanted to give back to everybody that supported me. So, and you never know. You make a random smile, make a random stranger smile, and it might make their day. It might make their year. Hell, it might even change their life.
Oh yeah. Well, I just think there were some things said in your video that I think people need to be reminded of, possibly, if not weekly, if on a fucking daily daily basis, because it's like we were saying before the show is I hate drama myself. I don't like being a part of it. I don't like hearing it.
Right.
But then again, that human part of me is like, what's going on? Just because I have so many friends in this industry, mostly I just want to make sure nobody is talking disparagingly about somebody I personally know.
Right.
Because chances are, just with the people I associate with, they're all on the up and up, and I would think that I would know if they weren't beforehand, that's why, but I try to avoid drama at all costs. I hate it. I'm fucking 42 years old. I'm done with drama. I've been out of high school for over 20 years.
Right. Right. No, I hear you on that one, man.
I'm done with that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because it is a collective of humans, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
People are going to talk. People are going to run their mouths. And how with the internet, people are always braver on the other side of the keyboard than they are
fucking
in
keyboard
face.
warriors. Everybody's a keyboard warrior, and because even cam warriors. You'll fucking sit there and run your mouth on fucking cam when they're not in the room. But then you come in and they come in, or it is what it is. I see it happen more often than not, and it's not just in vaping, but it kills me more in vaping than it does in regular society, because you're never going to change the whole world. But we're supposed to be a community that sticks together, and we have a big, huge fucking fight ahead of us, and people just need to grow the fuck up and act like adults. We're in the demographic of 18 years old, 21 in some states, to great granddaddy sitting in his wheelchair, at the nursing home, quit smoking, and he's vaping. We've got such a broad spectrum. Why are we infighting? Why are we, if you got beef about somebody because they have a fucking different device than you, grow the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, they don't like an e-liquid that you personally like. Grow the fuck up. Who cares?
That's awful petty.
It's all petty bullshit. It's all childish petty bullshit, and people just need to stop running their mouths about shit that they don't know the truth on, or things that are subjective even. Oh, fuck.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
No, it's good. It's all good. I'm very passionate about it because like I said, I see it more often than not, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is disgusting. And
it is a shame.
It really is. I mean, there's bigger issues in the world that we really need to, like, did you know that fucking human trafficking has grown 15% in the USA in the last fucking 6 months? That's something that we should be talking about.
Yeah.
That's something we should be worried about. War, threats, the threats on our civilization. Like, just there's so much more to deal with in life than, somebody asking somebody for some fucking help because they need assistance. Just get the fuck over yourself. Grow the fuck up.
Right
Fuck you.
Okay. Now that's done. Thanks, G.
Yeah. No, G. My tube's definitely better than yours. So great. Yeah, we probably got about $350 for that one.
Do you want to talk about this at all?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever. Hey, you're the host, man. You ask the questions, and we.
This is you though.
I know.
Hesh makes box mods. This is a triple series that I had him make. Shit. God, probably almost a year ago, isn't it?
Almost a year ago. About is when I really got heavy into it, and I kind of backed down from it a little bit. I'm still making them for friends. I am not. I'm not currently. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
With the FDA and devices and all that stuff before I actually come out as a modder.
Right.
Only because if everything gets thrown out and we can manage to police ourselves and everything like that, I will gladly start making mods for people to purchase. But as of right now, I'm just doing it for friends, and all they're paying is cost of materials. It's not profitable whatsoever for me. It's just a hobby.
Well, I'm curious, what got you into, what got you into wanting to make mods?
I was at a point where I didn't have a lot of money, and I knew that because of some of my previous employment in the past, I was a mechanic for 8 years. I did PC repair, so I was always doing micromin soldering on laptops and everything like that. So I was used to working with electronics, and trying to figure out and the science behind it is ultimately, what got my brain spinning. I wanted to know what the technology was. I wanted to get into it just to say that I had the knowledge that I could actually build a mod. And if a friend wanted one, fuck it, why not? Pay for the materials. Yeah. I'll put it together for you. No issue whatsoever, Yeah. So that's mainly what got me into it. But I was at a point where I didn't have a lot of money. I wanted to get a hexome, but I couldn't afford a hexome. I wanted to get a Titan. Huge shout out to Eric, Sear, and Masty. Love those guys. Big time. Good people, great people. But I couldn't afford, the $120 at the time. So I picked up a B box and printed out a couple of battery sleds from a 3D printer and got some Fat Daddy 510s, some MOSFETs, and some wire, and just went to town and made my first two series mods. Just straight up series mods. Mm-hmm. Kitty buttons, they would fire in your pocket. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I didn't know, that there were flush mount buttons and all that stuff. I grabbed what I could. Yeah, that thing's awesome. I love that.
Love that.
I love that little MyTech button. That little Fat Daddy MyTech.
I don't think I'll ever buy another box unless it's got that kind of button on it.
I love it, man.
I seriously, I love that button.
Yeah, it's nice and clicky too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like I ended up getting into 3D printing with my wife's cousin, and I ended up 3D printing triple series sleds.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, well, what else can I do? So I took the Fat Daddy V3 and I created a 30 millimeter disc. Well, I didn't create. I saw them out on the market already, but I spec'd one out that I had bought and started printing out my own 30 millimeter discs. And you still have the insert for the Fat Daddy 510 right there. So your 30 millimeter Addies will fit on a 30 millimeter box flush.
Perfect.
And it would be triple series. So I figured, fuck it. I'll do 24 millimeter B box dual series with flush mount buttons. And I do flush mounts if requested, or the horn style button that everybody likes as well on the mods. So, you know, and I use quality electronics as well. All Keystone connectors and 3034B 250 amp MOSFETs. So I don't do anything non-protected, only because if in the chance that somebody builds stupid, I'd rather have a protection in there than not. You know, I'd rather the box and the button to last instead of me saying, yeah, I'm going to give you a limited lifetime warranty on it because I built it and I stand behind what I make. But you got to cover the cost of replacement materials. No, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? I'd rather something that's going to last them, can take a beating for a long time. So.
Hell yeah. Well, I can attest to this one. This thing's, it's a trooper. That's awesome. Man, I also, this box is probably the nicest box that I've ever seen out of these hobby boxes. I mean, I couldn't expect a Hexome to be better, honestly. This thing is so, I don't know where you get these, but this box is fucking immaculate, man.
Yep, it's anodized, CNC'd. There's no ham and lean.
There's no lean.
No ham and lean whatsoever. Everything is flush. It feels comfortable in the hand. There is a little bit of overhang from the door. Not too much, though, but that's only because if you can't get at the machined lip right there, you can still manage to grab it sideways and pop it out. And that's the only reason why that door is slightly bigger. But these it's not noticeable at all. You can't
noticeable.
Yeah. You can't even fucking
as long as your doors go on correctly.
Oh yeah, and they do. I actually get them with the magnets pre-installed. I source them from a few places. If my main supplier doesn't have them, I do have a secondary supplier that has the exact same boxes.
That's good to have back.
And I buy so many that I get basically cost on them when I buy a run of them. So I ultimately get I get a lot. So
Greg says, could you possibly do it in a lipo?
I was thinking about doing a lipo box, but I am not a huge fan of internal lipos and balance charging, only because if something goes wrong with that is a liability, because creating lipo boxes is a huge different technology. You have to have a chip in there for the battery protections. You have to have a thermal chip in there in case the battery pack is getting too hot. So
that's where the price starts going up.
Exactly. A good lipo box for me to build would not be cost effective, you know, and I would be the one that's fucking crazy enough to do a, 3-cell lipo running at 12.4 volts at whatever amps a fucking lipo can hold on a mechanical switch. So No lipos for me. I am interested in doing mechanical squonks, and I am interested in trying to do a project for me and Giz that is not to be mentioned as of right now because I want to see where the market goes, and if there's no market for it or nothing comes out, I have something that it will blow squonkers and regulated device people away.
Cool.
That's cool.
That is cool. So you've got upcoming plans then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Me and Gizzy are going to be the test rabbits on these devices and see how it works out.
A lot of people starting their own businesses, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm starting mine with embroidery. Hesh is doing his his mods now. Yeti, he's got has had it for a while. You know what I'm saying? I've just seen a lot of more people coming into their own, finding a comfort zone, finding what they love, finding what they like to do, and putting it out there. Because I think the community is behind them and they're supporting them in what they do,
right?
And showing them, saying you can do this, and it is. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've probably made about 10 of the triple series boxes so far, and I've made about 18 of my regular series and parallel boxes. So 9 and 9, so series and parallel. I was dabbling in doing a para series.
Yeah. That's what I want.
Yeah, I was dabbling in doing it, but trying to find a manufacturer that would spec out a box for me, I'd have to actually have them made, and I don't have that kind of scratch to do a prototype just yet.
Answer, enough room for a dual 2700?
Yes.
Oh, in this style box, I could do a triple. I could do a triple 2700 in this, but I would do it using a 120 volt 60 amp mechanical switch. So I wouldn't have to put in a MOSFET in it whatsoever. So it would be a mech box. Much like the Plastique or any of those guys that don't use MOSFETs, but they use a fucking switch that can start a Mack truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something high amperage and high voltage that 12 volts is not even going to phase that button whatsoever.
Jean Carlos says, Hesh, have you ever seen a 6-battery para series? If not, I can show you a pic.
Oh yeah, I've seen 18 battery para series.
That's
the DeWalt box in person with the Mason with the Fat Boy on top.
I've got 2 Hog V3s.
Yep.
And both of them only lasted a day. So I need to find somebody to fix those motherfuckers. Because I loved them, but neither one of them lasted longer than a day.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with them. There's something, they crapped out on me. I love those things, man. I love them. Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
What's next?
I think we should do a rapid fire on them.
Oh, fuck. I know I agreed to it earlier, but I'm like,
come on. It's just answering.
I'm like, it's 12:15.
And it's this or that. It's this or that. Come on.
Okay.
You ready?
Shit.
Let me drip real quick on both devices. Because I know this is going to last about 10 minutes. Oh, no. So,
where's my this or that?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. I've lost them. Crap.
Oh, yeah. G just said you could actually turn it into a quad parallel if you want. Hammer of God?
Nah.
I'd rather it be series.
I'd rather it be a quad series. That'd be badass.
That is doable.
It's not the milliamp hours I'm concerned with. It's the voltage.
Does the Hog have a chip in it?
No.
The V3? No. Okay. No. It's a mechanical.
It's fully mechanical.
Okay. Yeah, you could swap it around. Just changing out the wiring.
Yeah, well, there's no wiring either. It's how it's the plates that are on. I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
I totally forgot that it's the plate system.
Yeah.
Did you find your this or that's?
Yeah, but these are lame. But we'll use them.
It's okay. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, dog or cat?
Damn it! I bet we have the same questions.
Maybe not. We'll skip over ones if we.
Yes.
Oh, both.
Both. I'm an animal lover. I have 2 cats now. I grew up with dogs. Rapid. I know it's rapid fire, but we lived in apartments for a long time and wanted pets, and we were only allowed to have cats. So we've had cats for the last 13 years, but we're debating on getting a dog very soon.
That's cool.
It's all about conversing, anyways. So
yeah, right.
Are we rotating?
Yeah.
Okay. Comedy or horror?
That's easy.
Horror is comedy.
Oh, shit.
Give me any horror. I love it. I love getting the shit scared out of me. I love that little bit of a paranoid feeling after watching a good horror flick. But I find some of the stuff to be absolute garbage. And I've done special effects makeup before, so horror really gets me going, but it turns into comedy for me.
Okay, Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook. I forget about my Instagram all the fucking time. And
wow.
It's bad. It's bad because, I have sponsors and I have posts that I'm supposed to be posting. And, I did go through a lot of shit in the last couple of months, and my sponsors have been behind me big time. And I completely understanding. So I've just gotten back onto my Instagram. But I prefer Facebook, in all honesty. Fuck social media.
Yeah, true.
But it's really the only way that I can communicate with my friends outside of my local circle. So, and I have a lot of friends outside of my local circle.
Okay.
Superman or Batman?
Batman. Fuck Superman.
Cake or pie?
Oh, fat kid. Both. I don't weigh 240 for nothing. Come on.
Well, this one's going to be kind of stupid considering your location.
Yeah.
But snow or shine?
Snow. I snowboard. I love winter sports. I grew up skiing, and I was trying out to be pro. I was pro-am in snowboarding, and then I had an injury which took me out of the competition circuit. So now I just ride for fun.
Okay. Laundry or dishes?
Oh. Neither.
Put a load of dishes in and throw my jeans on the top rack. 2 for 1. I'd rather do laundry, but my wife works second shift, so dinner ends up being cooked by me. So I try and keep up with the dishes, but of course I'm a guy, so it's usually 2 or 3 days piled up. But I've been better recently. I still have to do dinner from tonight and load the dishwasher before I go to bed. So, but I would rather do laundry.
I really hope we haven't done this one. Coke or Pepsi?
Mountain Dew.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Ketchup or mustard?
Sriracha.
You're breaking the rules, Hesh.
I know.
Sneakers.
You think I care? Mustard.
So sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Tacos or burritos? Giz.
Oh, fucking burritos all day.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Oh, fuck! I just had an aneurysm. Shit.
Maybe it's a tumor. It's not the tumor.
Not a tumor. Fruits or vegetables?
Fruit.
Okay, toilet paper, under or over?
Over.
See,
I was trained right.
I don't understand why that's a fucking thing. Why does that even matter? What's the big deal about that?
I'd rather pull from the top and have it accessible than not fall against the wall. You know,
I totally get that, but why is it such a huge? Marriages have broken up because of that, and I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't get that.
In our house, it's toilet paper roll's empty. It's sitting on the fresh roll is sitting on the heater, and the heater is literally like, "Oh, I'm on the toilet. Here's the heater. I can reach it like this."
What is it? Pirates or ninjas?
So the ninja streak ends. Fucking pirates.
Oh, you're a sellout.
No,
you gotta be kidding.
Nope, I've got pirate tattoos on the back of my calves, asshole.
Oh man.
Showed Nikki in the fucking Bape Shack earlier.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I was in a band called the Boston Jolly Pirates. We were a ska-core band. And we did very well. We did an East Coast tour, West Coast tour. And then I met my wife, and we stayed around the Boston area. Pirate all day.
Pancake or waffle?
Waffle.
Boats or hose?
Boats and hose.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
This is you're a Met guy.
Coffee.
Brass or copper?
Copper.
City or country?
Tough question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a city boy at heart, but I love me some fucking get me away from the craziness. Yeah, please. I love camping. I could survive out in the woods by myself for 30 days, no problem.
I'm good. We got more?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Card game or board games?
Card game with the friends, board game with the kids.
Okay.
Oh, how about what was it? There's another one for Giz. Sharks or penguins?
See, everybody picks sharks. I know a lot of people lately have been picking penguins.
But this is you.
This is me. I do have to go with penguin. Only because the father takes the responsibility of caring for the egg. And I love my son to death, and I will protect him as much as the emperor penguin protects its unborn. You know, I will fucking go to the ends of the world for my kid.
So
everybody else in the world is a bunch of sharks anyways, talking shit about each other and fucking causing bullshit. So fuck sharks.
Okay. I probably know the answer to this one already. Camping or binge watching shows at home?
I'd rather be camping, but right now I'm binge watching shows at home.
Leather or lace?
Leather.
Sweater or hoodie?
Hoodie.
Alaska or Hawaii?
Alaska.
More Bigfoots.
When sleeping,
right.
Fan or no fan?
Fan.
Skip. I forgot it. Fuck.
Beer or wine?
Shit.
Beer. Come on. I crack a beer almost every live show we're on.
I know.
Don't drink that crap.
Lube or dry?
Damn. Depends on the situation.
that big of a debate, huh?
Depends on the situation. Hot lube. Don't need rug burn.
Ocean or mountains?
Ocean.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
TV or a book?
Oh, here's a good one.
Book.
I got two good ones.
I've read a shit ton, and I learn more from books than I ever do from mindless television.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry?
Oh, Scooby-Doo all the way.
PC or phone?
PC or phone?
Mm-hmm.
PC. More games, bro.
Okay, that leads to the next one.
Yep.
PC gaming or console game?
Oh, fuck. That's a tough one because I have both.
I know. One could you live without?
I could live without the console because the PC I can do, even though I game on my PC, I can still do a lot more on my PC than I can on the console.
Family or friends?
Family are friends. Friends are family. I would take a bullet for my family. I would take a bullet for my friends. If they're respectful and true to me, they get the exact same treatment as my family does.
Blue or red?
Blue.
Okay, there's a lot asking for this one. Mickey D's or Burger King?
Oh, BK all day.
Speedos or dental floss?
Giz, is that on me or on somebody else? If it was me, dental floss all day. Everybody gets to see this fantastic booty.
Okay. In a person, would you look for more intelligent or funny?
Oh,
funny. Yeah, the sense of humor goes a long way with me.
It does go a long way.
I'm a sarcastic asshole with a heart of gold. So if you can make me laugh, it goes a long way. You could know a lot of shit, and I won't be impressed because you're just gonna sit there and spout facts. If you can't make me laugh, what's the point?
But intelligence and smarts are two different things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I'd rather somebody be funny and street smart than intelligent and a fucking doorknob. Yeah.
Okay. So, football or basketball?
Hockey.
I knew that. Apple or Android?
Oh, Android. The only reason why I have an Apple is because of work, but my personal phone's Android.
New car or new home?
New car. I already have a great home.
Fish or chicken?
Chicken. Come on, you slowing down.
I'm getting lower. Toast or eggs?
Eggs.
I'm out.
Yeah, I think I'm out too. I think I've went through the whole list.
Yeah.
Besides blinds or curtains.
Oh God, curtains. I hate blinds.
Yeah.
We have them on the first floor just because it's easy, but upstairs is all curtains. Ooh. There's a couple of good ones in chat.
Okay.
Johnny 2419, He-Man or Thundercats? Thundercats.
I didn't even see that one.
Joe Gurr, elk or deer? Deer. Miles,
Indica
or sativa? Hybrid, bruh.
Blue jeans or leather jacket?
Well, that's kind of not fair because one covers the top, the other covers the bottom.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be Donald ducking it.
Yeah, you don't want to see me Donald ducking it.
Well, like I think they mean a blue jean jacket or a leather jacket.
Oh, okay. So a jean jacket or a leather?
Yeah.
Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah. I gotta go with the jean jacket. Do all the old fucking iron on patches. Cut the arms off, make it a jean vest. Put some fucking Liberty spikes on the sides and
a battle vest.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I've got a battle leather.
And Randall sits there and tells you Pepsi is that's a Pepsi product.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So Pepsi or Coke.
Gives it that's the easiest answer ever.
Diarrhea, please.
Yeah, root canal or diarrhea. Bro, I have Crohn's. We'll just leave it at that.
Diarrhea is nothing to him.
Yeah, that's
a daily.
Bro.
Maybe he'd rather have the other one for the rest
change.
of the life.
No. You can keep
shit.
Metal objects out of my fucking mouth.
Okay.
And I'd rather have the poop soups.
Hold on, but if you had one root canal that could fix your Crohn's, would you do it?
Who wouldn't?
Maybe him. But don't you put metal in your mouth every day when you vape?
Not in his mouth.
I put a drip tip in my mouth.
Well, there's some metal drip tips.
I don't have any metal drip tips.
I wouldn't consider it.
I lied. The GMVP cap is all brass.
That's a great one right there. Nichrome or stainless steel?
Stainless steel.
It's a great one.
Stainless steel. Definitely stainless. It's all I really use. It's all I comp with. I built a Canthal build earlier today. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's just simple, 24 gauge 6 wrap on a 3 mil, just because the build that I had in it broke, and I'm like, fuck.
G has an excellent question. Now listen close. You're having the morning voop with a new mod, and you get poop on your finger. What takes precedence? Setting the mod down safely or de-pooping your finger?
Setting the mod down safely. Because I can de-poop my finger
at a later date.
Instantly. Morning poop in my bathroom is I would be mecking with this hand and wiping with this. I place this down and I turn. Oh, and hey, look, my sink is right here. Here's the hand soap. Soap. Sink. All done.
Pee-wee Herman or Mr. Rogers?
Connect donuts. Make it like a high, make it high.
I knew that one because he does Pee-wee Herman all the time. Permission or forgiveness?
It's better to ask for forgiveness than to. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to get permission.
Hell yeah.
Staged or series?
It's a good question.
Ooh.
Although you can have a staged build in a series mod.
Yeah.
It will be a big one. That's a good one, Johnny.
That is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Series, but if I'm comping, then it's staged.
Okay, Johnny.
So if fuse Claptons with a single round wire on the side.
Let me ask a quick question because it's going to go back to comping because I'm totally ignorant on comping.
Yeah.
Do they allow exotic builds in comping?
Mm-hmm.
They do. So it doesn't have to be just a round.
No, the build limit is 0.08. If your RDA ohms out at 0.08 at the start of the comp, it doesn't matter.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I do
23.
I do 23 gauge, 20 and 25 gauge parallels, dual parallels. Is one of my go-tos. one of my other go-tos is fused Claptons with single round wire.
Mm-hmm.
I've comped with frame staple aliens, with Fralians, and I've comped with straight up aliens.
Okay.
No issue whatsoever with it.
So it's not unheard of for a comper to be using an exotic coil.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. Because the more surface area, the less of the more vapor production on a 5-second pull, in a and the better surface area with wide open airflow all day. That's why I do the parallel builds. Is because I've got a wide ass coil that ramps up real fucking quick, and I don't have to spend my time. The whole purge 3, 2, 1. I don't have to purge my whole 3 count down and then pull the 5 count up. I can purge on the 1 with a wide ass coil like that and have a fucking full on comp pull, and exhale on the 5 and good to go. As long as I push more than 8 feet, I'm happy.
Right on. All right. Sorry for derailing. I'm just really ignorant to the comp scene. I really am.
Chat's blowing up like crazy with questions.
They sit there and the ones we left off was Mr. Rogers or Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Mr. Rogers.
A lot of people don't. Well, some people probably don't know
I was raised
Captain
with
Kangaroo. I was raised with both, actually, but
Captain Kangaroo was a little bit before my time, but it was on repeats on PBS. But it was after Mr. Rogers, and I had to leave for school after Mr. Rogers, so I never really caught Captain Kangaroo.
Left or right-handed?
I'm righty, but I can't because I'm a guitar player and bassist and everything like that. I can do a lot more with my left hand than normal people. The normal righties can.
TC says, aliens or frame staples?
Aliens.
Frame staples.
Okay. Pancake, waffles, or French toast?
French toast.
Metallica or Nirvana?
Metallica.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Dummy. Who's that dummy guy? Dummy.
It's supposed to be Demir.
Oh.
Demi Bouguer.
Yeah.
It says Doomy.
Or Ghost.
Or Dummy.
Ghost all day.
Ghost all day.
Okay.
Did you hear about Papa Emeritus 4? Did you see that?
No.
They wheeled Papa 3 off stage, and Papa 4 is coming in on the
nice.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
G wants to know if you would chew aluminum foil for advocacy.
No.
And G, I will chew aluminum foil for fun, just so you know.
I've done it before, and because of the amount of fillings that I have, it fucking hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have broken teeth too, so I can't really do that. But yeah.
Okay, I got one for you, Hesh. Pure peach or sinful apple roll?
Sinful apple roll.
Mix them at a 60-40.
Already done.
That's what I say. And get pure sin.
Already done. Already done. Oh, there's so many good ones in fucking chat right now. So Van Halen or Bon Jovi?
What was it?
I like Bon Jovi.
No, the question is it the original Van Halen or is it Van Hagar? I gotta go with Van Halen just because Eddie Van Halen shreds like there's no tomorrow, and he's one of my favorite guitar players.
Gibson or Fender?
Gibson.
Flavor or vapor?
Both. Best of both worlds. But if I could only choose one, flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Here, this one's going to be a trick question. I don't know if you'll know it or not. Mitch Hedberg or Carlton?
Oh God. Mitch Hedberg.
Wow, really?
Yeah, as much as I love George Carlin, Mitch Hedberg, local dude.
He's
a riot.
Definitely was way before his time.
Oh yeah.
I hate to say, Carlin was a personal idol. I don't want to say idol.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been plenty of Carlin shows that I fucking fell in love with. I love George Carlin. Don't get me wrong, but Mitch Hedberg, man, he's that I will fall out of my chair side splitting humor that I fucking Carlin had a lot of political stuff to it, and I'm not a huge political fan to say. So a lot of politically driven comedians, I'm just like meh on. But Hedberg, man, I can fucking fall out of my seat side splitting and shit my pants.
He's honestly, he's one of the few comedians that actually has made me almost piss a little, like lose control of bodily functions.
Yeah.
Megatron or Optimus Prime.
Decepticon all the way. Oh wow, there's a couple actually good ones ahead of that too. Let's see. Juan wants to know 311 or Sublime. Sublime all the way. Give me that SoCal punk meets ska all day long over 311's wannabe version of reggae. Primus or the Melvins? Primus.
Gotta be.
Les Claypool is my idol. Him and Flea are my idols on bass. So
Pacino or De Niro?
Pacino or De Niro? Pacino.
All right. Well, I don't know. What else? Is there anything else we haven't covered? Anything you would like to talk about, Hesh? Anything you want to get off your chest, or
Did you just freeze?
Oh fuck! You got to be kidding.
No,
me.
I didn't freeze. No, I didn't. I'm reading the chat. Going, man, I would answer that question in a heartbeat.
Well, answer it. Answer it.
Miles goes, Hesh, finish the sentence. Now, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there to tell you about a story how it became the Prince of Bel Air. Born and raised at the playground is where I spent most of my days chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. While I was shooting some people all outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. Got in one little fight and my mom got scared.
I'm glad nobody saw that.
What did you do?
I just took a big ass rip off of an RDA that
had no cotton in it.
All right.
Auntie wants to know Pizza Hut or Domino's? Domino's.
Yeah, absolutely. Domino's or fuck Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut doesn't count.
I choose Donato's. It's not a choice, but hey.
Oh, that's a fighting question right there, Juan.
What ones they want?
Fresher Giz.
Giz.
That's dirty.
That's real dirty.
That's just dirty.
Yeah, that's dirty. You can't. How about a fresh Giz?
Well, both, in all honesty, because I've known Giz for actually almost my whole vaping career since I've been in with the Overdose Vapes guys. Me and Gizzy go way back. But at the same time, me and Freshie go way back too, to about the same time when I was watching Plumes of Hazard. Me and Fresh would troll the Plumes chat all the time together, and we'd bounce back and forth, having a good old shit show with Addy. So my friendship with that circle of people has been 3 years in the making. I just started coming around to the shows because life happens, you know. And once I finally got comfortable with being on Travis's show, you know, that really spawned, you know, oh, hey, we need another guest. Do you want to come in? Sure, why not? Nikki, boobs or butts? Boobs.
I'm going to tell y'all something I shouldn't tell anybody. When y'all get new batteries, or when you're rewrapping batteries, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay close attention to like rings and such. The fool that I am, I got some new cells in yesterday, and I was rewrapping some older cells, and I wasn't even paying attention, and this ring has a really wide band on it, and I arced it.
Oh no! Good God!
I arced the positive with the side of the barrel right there, and I figured a heads up is better than letting somebody else do it, because
I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even probably realize that the metal in your rings could set a battery.
Well, I can promise I will never do that again. That will never happen again.
Oh man. Thesis or anybody else in the world?
Anybody else in the world?
No, in all honesty though, I do have a lot in common with Thesis, and you know, he is a good friend. I like Thesis. I do have to say that. I like him a lot. He's a good dude.
Right. In small doses. Come on.
Well, see, now here's the thing. The way that Thesis acts on cam is how me and my friends act when I'm not on YouTube.
Right.
So, me and Thesis could fucking chill, no problem.
He's a very relaxed guy in all the sense, but as soon as the live button
goes on,
they're saying when Yeti's all blah blah blah, you know, but as soon as that live red button goes in, it's like,
oh yeah, it's a different fucking person.
Well, a lot of people have that mentality of as soon as that live button goes, they're another character.
Right.
So, and that is Thesis. He plays into the.
He's got a personality for social media.
Yes.
So it's much like Rip Trippers. Rip doesn't act like that all the time. It's exactly like what's his face? Blake Vapes.
Yeah.
I met him in person.
Yeah,
he's fucking chill as shit. I love that dude, and like,
he's cool.
I can't stand his Instagram personality. You know, his comedy is funny as fuck. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I'm not. I'd rather see him put his efforts into advocating as opposed to fuck the haters. You know, but he's a comedian. You know, and I get that. That's one of his fucking digs that he does. It is what it is.
Vaping.
Yeah. Just vaping, killing the game.
Yep.
TC wants to know South Park or Family Guy? Family Guy all the way. Socrates wants to know tamales or chimichangas. Bro, seriously, Deadpool fan. Chimichangas.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
All right, let's shut her down.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for showing up.
That's been enough.
We're out.
Everybody go check out Hesh's channel. It's what is it? Paul Subhuman. Yeah, I'll let you do it.
There. I just commented with the home keys just because I'm an asshole like that.
On the side of his name, and you can sit there and go right to his channel.
There you go. And for those that, God forbid, if anybody's watching, not watching the live event, it's Paul Subhuman on YouTube. Yep. And then go check out Vaping with Nikki B. You can do your thing, Nikki.
I am Vaping with Nikki B. You can search me on Google. You can find me here on YouTube, and also find me in the vapeshack.org and all the time. If you need any help, questions, and everything, come over to the lounge, hang out with us, chill out with us. It's just like here every day, So thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
Up.
And thank y'all for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
Great show.
Let's kill this motherfucker.
Let's kill it.
Love y'all.
Bye.